Alright, so today I'm going to go over how to take apart the Ruger LCP. Was able to get my hands on this one and shoot it, and then I asked the buddy of mine that actually has it if I could clean it for him, and said yeah, so I thought I might as well do a video on it also, just to kind of how to go through and clean it. Not that hard to clean. So first thing, make sure that the magazine's out. So, is there anything in the chamber? No. Okay. So there's a few different ways you can actually clean this. You can either pull it back just slightly to pull this, there's this little pin right here. You can pull it back just slightly just to get that little pin out. Or you can pull the slide all the way back. And then use something to actually pry that off with. Sometimes what I'll use is just a flathead screwdriver with the cloth covering it so that you don't do any damage. And just pull up a little bit and that pin will actually wind up coming out. So there you go. Release the slide and pull the slide right off. And to get the spring off, just push up a little bit. You'll see that a little plastic piece comes out. And just pull the spring away. And just make sure you don't lose it. There's two springs in this. There's one right there, the little one that goes around this, and then there is the bigger one that goes on top of that one. To get the barrel out, push forward a little bit, and then just kind of go up at an angle and pull the barrel off. And then for cleaning it, just use your wire brush, get inside the barrel, make sure everything's nice and clean, get all the junk and fouling out of there, and then you can use your solvent to get the different, or to get all the fouling. Use your solvent to get all the fouling out of the barrel. I use Hops 9. It's kind of the only one that I've only ever used so far. I haven't tried anything else, but I'm sure there's other ones that work just fine. I'm not getting any money for saying that I use Hops 9 at all, so. And then for the oil, this is the one that I happen to use. I also do have other Hops 9 one. I got this one, and then I also got that one. This one I'll use most of the time. Can't remember exactly where I got it at. And then if you actually wind up doing, if some of the bluing actually winds up coming off your gun, what you could do is, I bought some of this. I think I got it at Walmart or Fleet Farm. One of those two. Just you can use some of that just to get some of the bluing back in there. Basically, you just want to get everything nice and cleaned off, remove all the oil and whatnot, and then just rub some of the bluing compound on there, and you'll actually notice that some of the bluing actually winds up coming back, so that it does, you don't see the blemishes on there anymore. I mean, it works okay, but either that or you can just use like a powder coat and then recoat it yourself, or bring it to a gunsmith or whatever. So after you get the barrel apart and whatnot, and then you clean it all out with your solvent of your choice, then just clean out the slide, get everything nice and clean inside with your solvent. And I'll actually go through and clean out inside here with a little bit of solvent. It's not really necessary. I do it. This thing's polymer, so I don't think it really matters. And then I'll actually clean off the spring too. Once you get everything cleaned off, just wipe off all the solvent and whatnot, and then get all the solvent off of inside the barrel. And then you want to use your whatever oil you have, and get a new little cloth, and get that lubricated and start cleaning, or start putting oil on inside of the barrel and doing the outside of the barrel and get inside the slide and whatnot. And since I have this one apart right now, and I've already cleaned this one, so I don't need to go through and do the cleaning it out again, but I'm just gonna kind of rub everything down with some oil again since I got it apart. Yeah, and just kind of rub it down nice and nice. Barrel goes in the same way you took it apart. Just kind of goes at an angle. Once you get in there, just slide right back down like that. And for the spring, right here there's a little notch, and that's exactly where that rests. So the spring, if you see down in the barrel right here, there is a hole. Put that under the spring in. As long as you pay attention to what you're doing when you take it apart, you should be able to put it together just fine. Just like anything else. It helps if I have it in the right spot. And there you go. And there's that. And all you gotta do, take the slide, put it back on. There's some rails that this rests against and glides against this nicely. Put it on just like that. Now, there is like a little metal bar or a little wire right there. And that is exactly what holds this pin into place. So what I find that actually works out fairly good is to pull the slide back a little bit, and if you go at an angle, kind of like that, and use this pin to push down that little wire bar, you can actually get the pin right back in just fine. Pull it back in a little bit and push it back all the way in place, because otherwise it won't go in. And that is how you disassemble the Ruger LCP. Fairly nice gun. The one thing I do not like about this gun at all is that there is no safety. It's the only thing I do not like about it. Otherwise, it is really small, very little kickback at all. The magazine is only a single stack, and this one only holds 6. It's a 380, so it does perform fairly well. Very concealable. It would not be a good thing to throw for like women to throw in your purse unless you had it in a some sort of holster that would protect the trigger right here, so the trigger never actually got accidentally pulled, because then you'd just be triggered and that wouldn't be funny. So that is how to take apart the Ruger LCP.